Hey there folks, and welcome to the Amazing Brick Network. My name's Tori Favreau and we're doing set 75-300, which in case you don't know is the brand new TIE Fighter that released on the 1st of January 2021. I have sped up the build so you do not have to put up with the full thing. But let's have a look at the set itself and break it down, have a good old look, starting off of course with the TIE Fighter pilot. I really like these figures, though I must admit they are a little bit hard to see when you are looking at them on a video, but that was the TIE Fighter pilot, so hopefully you've been able to make out enough of it to go, yep, you're not lying about that one, Tori. Now, while you're watching the video, if you do have time, please look down, click on the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. That way you won't miss out on a show. And the main reason I'm starting to say this is I am coming up to another giveaway. I'm trying to figure out at what point it'll be when I hit a certain subscriber base. And it will be for a Lego Harry Potter book that comes with an exclusive Tom Riddle figure. So I'm really excited about doing that. Now we're building, forgive me, we are building the body of the actual TIE Fighter itself, and everything here fitted really well together. Sometimes with some of these more recent builds, the actual tensile strength of the Lego was put to the test until you build up and around it. But this set from the get-go was an extremely strong build. You were confident in its ability to be used as a play set, which of course is the ultimate aim, to fly the TIE Fighter around. But the whole thing fit together super well. There weren't areas where I thought that should have been done a little bit differently, which I do know can sometimes sound a little bit, you know, hoity-toity, but it's certainly not the case. I've just made a lot of Lego in my life, and you start to get a feel for what works and what doesn't, even though I am the first to admit I couldn't design a set if my life depended on it, I don't think. To be honest with you, I really don't. The stuff that people do, especially the Lego designers and also many of the fan community, the stuff they do, it's to be absolutely marveled at. And I'm lucky, very, very lucky that I can count some of the best builders in the world as my friends. So I'm extremely fortunate in that regard. And I love showing you the stuff that they're making on, you know, a week by week, show by show basis. It's just utterly fantastic. So as you can see here, we've got the main area of the cockpit being built in terms of just building those bricks up, getting them nice and strong, and getting the sides ready for the wings to fit. Now, this was an interesting one because one of the first observations I made when I actually bought the set was it's one of the first times that I think this is like a more sleek TIE Fighter, in terms of the fact that the wings aren't like in a regular shape. They used to be like they were a little bit longer on the bottom and then shorter at the top half, and this is a symmetrical TIE. So I do like the look. I think it presents very well. It certainly sits well in terms of displaying it at the end, which of course you will see. But it was just a solid build, and like having seen the UCS, the Ultimate Collector Series TIE Fighter being made, of course there's a lot more bricks in that, but it holds up really well for what would be considered a cheaper set. It does hold up really well, guys. So if you haven't been able to afford a UCS TIE, or you just missed out, then there, you know, you can't really turn your nose up at this one, to be honest. It fulfills all the basic requirements. It definitely does end up looking like a TIE Fighter. And of course you're getting the minifigures, including the droid Annihilate, so you can figure that out. It says Annihilate, and we'll get into that just in a moment because we have finally built up the actual cockpit there, which was nice. These are very dark figures. Hopefully you can see the detail okay, except for the fact I sped that bit up. That's on me, guys. I'm so sorry. But that droid's name was Nil8, and yeah, Annihilate, for want of a better, well, not for want of a better word, it's a shortened version of Annihilate. So that droid there, I don't know if I actually owned that one before, so I was really glad to add that to the minifigure collection. I've got plenty of TIE Fighter pilots. I've got plenty of Stormtroopers, which is the third minifigure in this particular build, but it doesn't really matter because it still proved to be a lot of fun. But this is where you do get to see how cool the actual wing builds were. It's very, very cleverly made. And you basically make the two halves of the wing and simply slot them together. You'll see what I mean shortly. But those longer pieces that are protruding from the piece I've got laying down, they will fit in nice and snug. They look great together, and simply put, they do a fantastic job. And the way they do attach to the actual cockpit, it's great. There's like a Technic piece with three holes in it, obviously, to go with the 3 Technic pins. And it fits in really strongly. Like, I gave this little puppy a bit of a fly test afterwards, and nothing I was trying to do would budge it from where it was. So it's just a rad build. And like I said, it's just such a cool way of getting people to get Star Wars sets that previously they may not have been able to afford. This is a really cool, TIE fighter. It's my favorite Imperial ship, 100%, as the X-Wing is my favorite Rebellion ship or Rebel ship. So these were a way I could afford both of these without breaking the bank, and I could afford them to build and to show you, because you may or may not be aware of this, but I do purchase all these sets that I send, that I show you. And I also purchase a lot of the stuff that I do as giveaways as well. So, yes, we're not a fully funded operation. I'm lucky to have a couple of sponsors at the moment just for the books. And also we've got some train track sets coming out that I'm going to be showing and then giving away. So I'm really excited for that as well. But see what I mean here? That they're like the side fins there. And it's all very true to the movies. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's all bolstered. It's all strengthened. It was just a tough piece of kit, and it certainly comes together in a very uniform manner that really made me think that there is no way that this is going to fall apart. That's where the Technic pins go on. But even now, Lego, the design it's still holding on. So not only is it joining through all the standard studs and the massive amount of grip that's giving, it's also got reinforcement covering that plate to hold it in place. So can't fault any part of this build at all in terms of its durability. It's exceedingly well done. Just doing the side pieces here. They were really cool. It's just a hinge that folded down, as you can see there. Just held on with 2 like claw pieces. And look at that. It's fantastic. Like, I am super stoked at just how good that looks. 3rd bag. Now, obviously, it's the left wing. But, and it's exactly the same process again. I think they just did this to make the general disbursement of the Lego pieces just a little bit easier for us to wrap our head around, so that you didn't end up with a big pile of bricks or just a whole heap with one bag. They could have done that though. I mean, at the end of the day, they could have just said, build 2 of these, and you absolutely could have. But once again, extremely sturdy build. I would have liked a little bit more detail inside the cockpit. There was very little. I mean, you can put the TIE fighter pilot in it, which I guess is all that truly matters, but it was something that I would have personally tried to somehow put more detail in, maybe had some sticks or levers in there to just give the fake impression of something being flown. But this is just an accessible cockpit at the end of the day that you can put your figure into. And the hatch does open up nicely, and it is easy to position. So there's certainly play features there, especially for younger people who may want to get into Star Wars and, have their own experience in battles. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed my Hollywood quality introduction. I am waiting for, LUCASFILM and ILM and several other, people who do special effects to get in touch with me on the very basis of just how good that was. So, no expense is spared when I do my special effect introduction for you good folks. So be sure to give us a like for that one. And of course, as I asked earlier, please do give a subscription to the channel. It means the world to me. We are almost finished. We're just getting this second wing on, and as you can see, it's exactly the same as the other one before that. Not that that's a problem, but it just made me really appreciate just how much work goes into making sure that this does have playability. It is a rough and tough set. It's stronger than the X-Wing in my opinion, though I do prefer the X-Wing. But you can certainly fly these 2 around, have them bash and battle with each other. Both the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter will shoot their little plastic projectiles, which Lego I'm not a fan of. I don't like them. They're for the most part, they're not too bad, but sometimes they go off unexpectedly, which absolutely does my head in. So not a fan of those, but the actual vehicle itself, it's so cool. They both retailed for about $80 Australian, and I thought they were certainly worth it because they were just really good fun to make. We're about to place this together now, and I'll show you some, just a couple of still shots. And there you go. There's the minifigures that came with it. And this was just good fun. There you go. Projectiles, thumbs up, good job. And now we have a quick look at this here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you do like this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and happy building, guys.